For years, fans have been arguing about what would happen if one character fought another, just for silly arguments and nothing more. But then Super Smash Bros. Came out and finally let us answer these questions in fast-paced, addictive gameplay, and skyrocketed to the top of the fighting game genre. Ever since then, many people have tried to emulate Super Smash Bros. Success, but none of them had the characters to truly match up to Nintendo's history. Until PlayStation. Many have simply knocked this as being nothing more than a blatant ripoff, which it surely is, but if you can look beyond that, you will find a fighting game that is not only as fun and chaotic as Super Smash Bros., but in many ways much deeper. Compared to Nintendo's cast, which for the most part is very comedic, PlayStation ranges all over from the cartoony to the hyper-realistic. As such, certain characters like Nathan Drake or Parappa the Rapper have had their looks altered, but for the most part, the cast does gel well and look very cohesive. However, what does work exceptionally well is the combination levels that match two franchises together. Now, there's nothing wrong with Smash's singular levels, but All-Stars combination truly helps to sell the points of these franchises crashing together much more, and in a far more entertaining way. Levels are bright and colorful, and often have a lot of action happening in the background. Effects are also extremely flashy, and when there's a bunch of super moves going off at the same time, it's pure chaos. But it never causes any slowdown or problems. The actual gameplay is bright and vibrant and eye-pleasing. The only thing that's really lacking is the menus. They are extremely bland and have absolutely nothing to do with PlayStation as a brand. They work perfectly fine and they'll get you where you need to go, but they feel like stock templates and have absolutely no personality to them. Still, this is a minor nitpick, because once you're in a match, it never gets old to see Fat Princess fighting a Big Daddy.
My ice cream cone. That was a mistake, buddy.
A mistake I can correct, if you like.
Maybe you didn't hear me, friend. There's a debt here, and I'm ready to settle up.
Stand aside.
Pick that up and pay for it.
The ghost of Sparta bends to no mortal.
The sheer diversity in terms of the characters and the levels present is simply amazing and truly showcases so many great PlayStation franchises. Unfortunately, the rest of the game does little else to celebrate PlayStation's illustrious history. First off, in terms of the game's modes, there's only Arcade, Combat Trials, Practice, and Burst modes. Arcade is a standard arcade mode, but it is nice each character has a predetermined match. Yeah, it's nothing major, but there's no denying the awesomeness of seeing a Sackboy interact with a Big Daddy, or Evil Cole argue with Fat Princess. It's nothing more than a simple cutscene, but again, it really helps sell the idea of these gaming worlds colliding. Trial mode is a set of challenges such as getting a triple kill with a level 1 super, or using a specific combo a certain amount of times. They are a more engaging way to learn the game's mechanics compared to something like practice mode, but even then the mode itself falls kinda flat. Compared to other games we've had challenges like trying to survive multiple rounds on 1 health, or blocking making you lose health, these are purely combo and mechanic based. Again, it is a different way to learn how to play the game compared to simply beating up a virtual punching bag. But they lack any sense of fun or creativity, like those seen in the event mode of Super Smash Bros. And unfortunately that's it. There is a level system similar to what was seen in Mortal Kombat X, where as you play more of a character, you unlock different taunts, intros, outros, victory music, and alternative costumes. The upside of this is it rewards you for mastering a character, and does allow you to customize each fighter much more than other games allow. The, of course, downside of this is that you have to play for one character for hours to unlock all their stuff, only to have to start from scratch when you switch to another character. You can also unlock labels and icons for your online profile, but again, these are purely cosmetic and have no effect on the gameplay. Overall, the content offered in this game is extremely lacking, both in terms of modes of play and things to unlock. There's no hidden characters or levels. Hell, there's no hidden content at all, even like something basic like concept art. Super Smash Bros. Trophies are not only fun to collect and inspect, but they are a treasure trove of information about Nintendo's long history. All-Star has nothing but a brief synopsis about who each character is, and that's it. It's extremely disappointing and means there's very little replayability beyond trying to master each character's fighting style. all the assumptions people had about this being nothing more than a Super Smash Bros. Ripoff, it has to be made abundantly clear. It plays nothing like that game. If anything, it has much more in common with a one-on-one fighting game than Smash's chaotic free-for-all style of combat. All-Stars has a much heavier emphasis on combos and playing strategically as opposed to simple button mashing. The first big change is, unlike Smash Bros., which is about knocking your opponent off the edge, All-Stars is about building up your super meter to unleash devastating attacks, which is also the only way to kill an opponent. This of course is a much different form of combat and has both pros and cons. The upside is the game is far more strategic in terms of where and when you should unleash your super and in which one. In Smash, for example, once your percentage gets over 100, it turns from a chaotic ballroom fight into a game of cat and mouse as you try and hide from your opponent. Each character has a level 3 super, and each one is stronger and more powerful than the last. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. Using Nathan Drake as an example, his level 1 super is he throws a propane tank that explodes. His level 2 is that he pushes a column over that crushes enemies underneath. And his level 3 is he transforms all his opponents into zombies, which he can then try and shoot for instant kills and get as many as possible before they turn back. Personally, I prefer his level 2, because if you group all your opponents together or use it with their backs against the wall, you can get multiple kills at once. His level 3 on the other hand is an instant kill, but your opponents can still walk around, albeit very slowly, but they can avoid you before the timer explodes, so you could use a level 3 and not get any kills. Some characters have level 1s that are good for quick instant kills, and others have level 3s that kill all enemies on the screen at once. There's not one that's inherently better than another. They all have their pros and cons, and all depends on your skills and understanding of each move. One of the huge improvements this game has over Smash Bros. Is that the combat is much tighter and much more balanced. Each character plays totally different and unique from each other. Even characters like Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, who you imagine play very similar, are totally different and have their own feel. While this is amazing to have such a huge cast and so many different varied fighters, the one downside is you have to spend a bit more time than you usually do finding a character you like, because they all play so different. Kratos is a straight up brawler, Sackboy lays traps, Radek is more a range fighter, some are faster, like allowing you to build up your super meter quicker, and others are slower, but have more devastating level 3 supers that can get a ton of kills quick. There's definitely a character for you, but you have to put in the time to try them all. Still, it's a blast to have so many different fighting styles, and just as you tire one, there's another character with a completely opposite fighting style for you to explore. This is All-Star's greatest strength, and its greatest flaw. It is without a doubt a much deeper and much more complex fighting game than Smash Bros. Could ever hope to be. But the reason everyone plays Smash Bros. Is because it's so simple that both professional gamers and newbies can play together and have fun. You really have to practice and train in All-Stars to get better with a specific character. That's why it's totally unfair to compare it to Smash Bros. True, they have the same basic starting point of being franchise fighters, but they take totally different paths onto how they play. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but they are very different from each other. Overall, judging it simply as a fighting game in its own merit, it's fast-paced, chaotic, deep, full of skills and systems for you to explore, and it's just a blast to kick the crap out of other characters. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale unfortunately has a serious case of identity crisis, and not just simply because it's compared to Super Smash Bros. It's torn between trying to have the pick-up and play style of Smash Bros. And being a deeper, more complex, more serious fighting game, and never really commits to either one. Honestly, one-on-one matches are far more engaging than 4-player ones because of how much more it plays like a traditional fighter. That doesn't mean it's a bad game though. It's extremely well made and is a blast to play, but I can't help feeling like it had the potential to be so much more. Couple this with the fact that it's extremely lacking in terms of extra, and this game feels like the first pass of a much greater game. It's a blast to play through, but once you learn the system and find a character you like, there's little reason to replay beyond going online and showing off your skills. Still, for those couple of hours up until then, it's a blast, and often I would play for long marathon sessions because it's just so fun to play the crazy chaotic matches over and over again. The game may have been a rocky start, but it's laid the groundwork for a sequel that honestly has the potential to not only rival Smash Bros, but maybe even dethrone it. But as the game stands now, it's just a great party game, but not much else. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale gets an 8 out of 10.